Welcome to Holberton. Oh, we'll try that again. All right. Welcome to Holberton Coding School Puerto Rico Demo Day. So happy to have you here in person in Santurce in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're also happy to have a few folks streaming online on YouTube, as well as our Google Meet. For the folks who are here on our Google Meet, thank you again for joining. After the presentations conclude, we're going to have you meet with each of our student groups the same way that the in-person folks are meeting with them here on site on campus. So stay tuned for that. After about an hour of presentations, you'll have the opportunity to ask them questions and demo their products. All right? So a few housekeeping items. Again, thank you so much for joining. Please silence your phones. As I mentioned, we are streaming on YouTube and want to minimize any extra noise. And for the thank yous, I'd love to thank the entire staff of Holberton Coding School Puerto Rico, including our software engineer, Sean Cardona, our numerous mentors who help each of our student cohorts with their daily projects, late night questions, anything, you name it, they're there for them, including our software engineers. I'd like to also thank our chief mentor, Adam Beglin. Thank you so much for being here. And all the work you do with our students. I'd like to also thank our investor, Cyril Medunia. I don't think he's here today, but if you're streaming, Cyril, thank you so much for all the work you do for Holberton here in Puerto Rico. Next, I'd like to thank our students. Thank you so much for all the hard work you've put in to this cohort. It's been a long, long journey. I know it's been tiring with all the rehearsals this week, and I've put you through a lot. So thank you and sorry. But I promise it'll be worth it, right? The next few months, you'll be working on your job searches, looking for roles in tech companies as software developers, right? So the real work begins the moment you step off this stage, all right? So who's excited for today's demo day? Before I start with the presentations, again, I just want to thank everyone for being here. It'll be in about an hour for those who are just logging in now. And then the next hour after the presentations, we'll do a walk-around meet and greet. So once the presentations are over, I'm going to direct you to the back of the room here on campus, where you'll have the opportunity to meet each of our student groups. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. So first up, we have a group who built a healthcare technology app. I hope you enjoy. Their name is Kame.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nisel Sanchez, and I'm here to present Kame. You must be wondering what Kame means. So did I when my colleagues came with that name. I thought it was from Dragon Ball Z, but no. Kame means turtle in Japanese, and it symbolizes long life. In an era where hospitals struggle with electronic medical records, facing challenges like data overload, security risk, functionality issues, and error that can impact patient care efficiency, this is where Kame steps in, an easy-to-build data management and data analysis web application provided for healthcare services. Now let's meet the team. Our role, we're focused on full stack, allowing us to contribute across many areas. However, each team member led to a specific domain. I focused on the backend, while Sergio Lebron led the front end, and Christian Dia managed the database. We worked together to support each other and build this wonderful app. Now Christian will share the inspiration behind Kame and what we think is the solution for healthcare's provider.
So the inspiration came from a conversation I had with my mother. She works at the clinic health in Padillas. So she was telling me about how the reports wouldn't match the treated patients in the center. So I went in and said I could do an app that could make that work. So we made an app that develops a user-friendly application that ensures all patient data is accurately documented. And also, we built a part for the supervisors, which makes the dashboard, gives them tools to manage that data and see how it's going in the process. Now I'm going to leave Sergio with the technologies and challenges.
So for the technologies we use Django, which is a Python framework for the backend. We use Unicorn and Nginx to run the servers in production. We opted to use React, which is a JavaScript framework for the front end, alongside Tailwind CSS for the styling. We use HTML, Chart.js to create graphs in the data analysis dashboard, PostgreSQL for the database in production, SQLite for development and testing, and we deployed the app in AWS. There were several challenges throughout the development of our app, some technical, some not technical. Well, some of the technical challenges we had was learning these new technologies since they were very new to us. We decided to take a week before to learn these new technologies before actually using them towards the app. And also the deployment in AWS was a challenge because we didn't have much knowledge of what it meant to deploy an app and and all the requirements it needed.
For the non-technical, we wanted to create an app that respects doctor-patient relation. Federal laws prevent risks such as close encounter and mandatory diagnosis.
We want to thank these people here in this list. Some of them helped us in the research of what are the technologies we needed to use and how to use them. And the other people helped us in the research of the hospitals, all the laws that involve patient care. This will be our presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Anything else you want to know about Kame, you can go visit us at our booth. Many thanks.
Thank you so much, Kame. Next up, we have a group who created a game where if you conquer the dungeon, and you'll find out. Please welcome Dungeon of Stone.
So, good morning, everyone. We are here to present our game called Dungeons of Stone, and we hope you enjoy our presentation. Okay, so first off, we start with the team. My name is Jose Oquendo. I was the front-end developer who focused on building the web page itself, where you can find the download link for the game. I was also in part of designing the RPG elements that were added into the game, and I helped as well with the map design.
My name is Luis Abdel Martinez. I was mostly responsible for the scripting of the game. I also did the backend and the game mechanics, and I also created part of the map design. Our inspirations for this were heavy. My colleague and I, since we were little, we always have loved games. So when we had the chance to create our own project, we decided to why not go for it. We both decided to start with Godot, which is something that neither of us knew, and we decided to base ourselves on each of the genres that we both like the most. I love Metroidvanias in my case, and my colleague here likes RPGs. We tried to fuse both of them, and we use heavily Castlevania inspirations for the setting.
So as for the technologies used, when I developed the website, I simply used HTML and CSS to create the basics of it. And later I added a little bit of JavaScript to make it a little bit more fun to look at least. We use itch.io to get the sprites for every scene and character and enemy in the game. We use GitHub as to put it simply, we use it to communicate with each other, we uploaded the game to be able to edit it from 3 different PCs, and we also use GitHub pages in order to set off the web page online to be available to everyone. And lastly, we used the Godot game engine, which was the engine that was more accessible to us at the moment in order to develop the game.
For the challenges that we had, in my case, I had issues with Godot itself, since the animation player doesn't include capability to process more than one sprite sheet at the same time. And basically, I just had to do it with Sprite 2D and scour just the internet for a plugin that could help me with the issue that I had. It took pretty much a week or so and a half just looking through the manuals and just forums, but finally I was able to do it.
Yeah. For my part, I had my biggest issue with the moment was the image layout setting of one of the pictures in the website ad itself. So when I placed it and made the website into full screen, the image itself clipped above the copyright bar. So I searched for a whole 3 days to fix it. And it turns out I was doing it the other side around. Instead of moving the image in itself, I just needed to set the image in place and move the text around it, and I was able to solve it with that. Another issue we encountered was that Godot in itself doesn't have a system that allows you to edit the audio you set up for the game. So we could solve that quite easily by searching for an online page that allowed us to edit the audio itself and then re-imported it into the game. And the last issue we got was a Godot merging error that we got at a moment, which almost made us lose an entire whole level of the game, which was over 4 hours of progress. But thankfully, GitHub was really cooperative and even gave me instructions on how to fix the error in itself. So that's all from us. Thank you for listening. And if you would be interested in watching a demo of the game, you can go past our booth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dungeon of Stone. Next up, we have a team called Worker. Please welcome them to the stage. Worker.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing great today. We'll be introducing you our platform, Worker.
Work, earn, repeat.
So I'm going to use our team. My name is Nelson. I'm a full stack developer in his.
I'm Angel Bermudez. I'm also a full stack developer.
So while we picked the name Worker, a problem come to us like an idea. So one day I decided to invite my partner, and we go to this local restaurant in Puerto Rico. And the manager come to us, tell that the food will be delayed because they was short on staffing. So that led me an idea to create this platform that can make that can fill all this vacancy in a quick and secure way.
So let's talk about our inspirations. If I had to single out 2 inspirations for this application, it would be Uber and Fiverr. What we took from Uber is more look and feel. The look and feel, you know, how so the features on the app can be found in just one single dashboard, and the fact that you can have two different types of users interact with each other. What we took from Fiverr, though, is a little bit more subtext. What we took from them was their use case. See, Fiverr is more focused on freelance workers and how they can post the services they can provide, and people like you and me can go there and get things. Worker decided to flip the switch. In Worker, as a manager, you can post jobs that need to be done, and somebody that's a worker can find those jobs on a job list and apply easily.
So let's talk about our tech stack. From the front end, we decided to use React that can make interactive user interface, and we use Tailwind to custom and style it without using CSS from scratch. And we use Firebase to make the front, like deploy the front end, and the back end is structured on Python. So we decide to use API to build our endpoint and stuff. Google Cloud Run and SQL, we decided to use it because it's more scalable to make the backend deploy. And Flex in JSON Web Token for user authentication.
So challenges. I'm gonna single out two challenges. The two biggest ones were first design. Me and Nelson had a lot of different ideas on how the application should look, feel, and work. And the only way we actually got anything done was using well, I can't see them here today, but the whiteboards and flowcharts. Because that way we could actually write out how we wanted data to move through our application in real time and see where there could be friction and see where me and him would have different ideas. Other than that was migrating from vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and CSS to React and Tailwind CSS. Because at the start, we created a good MVP of the product, and the moment we started trying to add features to it, we found out that we just had a really long, let's say, scripts file. So I had the idea to use React because we could just take all those features and turn them into components. So when it came to debugging, we could aim at those components instead of having to dig through a really big file of code. There you go. So this is Worker. Up top, we have the manager dashboard, and the bottom, we have a worker dashboard. Managers can post jobs. They can accept workers onto those jobs, and they're the only ones that can close those jobs. Why we do this way? Because we need the worker and the manager to have communication during the work. So if a worker just leaves, well, the manager can close that job accordingly. Other than that, we have the worker dashboard. The worker dashboard, you can see all the jobs posted on a job list. You can you can apply to those jobs that are posted, and the moment you're applying to those jobs, you're prompted to create a small resume, and that resume sticks with the job itself. We did it like this because we wouldn't want anybody to be able to search out your private information, like your phone number, your address, and all of that. That would be strictly with the owner of the job you're applying to. Well, thank you for your time. I hope that you had a great time listening to us. Please, at the end of these presentations, pass by our booth and stop by our booth and check out Worker. Otherwise, you can scan the QR codes and see our LinkedIn profiles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Worker team. Next up, I'd like to welcome a team who created a simple, organized solution app called Probless. Welcome, Probless.
Good morning, my name is Luis Marrero, and I am part of the Probless team. Probless is a web application designed to alleviate the workload of the technical support teams with the help of AI. I am a full-stack developer on the team, and so is Michael Hernandez, and Daniel Carraquillo is our front-end developer.
So back when I did my university internship as an IT assistant in the municipality of Manatee, I saw by firsthand how sometimes the IT team struggled to keep up with all the ticket requests. And one of their main problems was the location of their office, because they were the only one on a third floor, while all the other ones were on lower floors or even outside the main building. And sometimes we had to spend 5 to 7 minutes walking across the building just to plugging in a cable. And in that moment, I realized that if users had a quick solution to those small problems, they might not need to create a ticket at all. And this experience is what inspired us to create Probless, a tool built not just to manage tickets, but to also empower teams to work smarter. Probless is a simple, powerful web app designed specially for small teams and startups. And with its built-in AI, Probless suggests solutions to users before they even need to create a ticket. Basically, we made Probless open source and easy to use because we believe everyone would have access to great support tools. And proudly developed in Puerto Rico, Probless is here to help teams focus on what really matters, solving real problems and making a difference.
So why Probless? AI assistant. Probless comes with AI that provides enough problem solving. This means our users don't have to rely external tools. Progress is accessible for us, is minimalist, is simple, and then is user friendly. And finally, increase productivity. By speeding up the issues resolutions, the teams can focus on most important tasks.
We decided to build the app using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap with such a rich feature front-end toolkit. Django was a Python framework which is designed for web development. And for the backend, we used PostgreSQL for the database and decided to go for render for the deployment of our app. The AI integration was with the OpenAI, which powers the suggestion of the answers for the users before creating a ticket. If they do not have a satisfactory answer, the ticket will be automatically created and hastening the process for them. During the creation of our app, we faced some obstacles. The technical side, we had the situation of learning and integrating new frameworks. We noticed it was going to take us more time and it was complicated developing the app. We decided to bring it down and keeping it simple, and this led us to breeze through the creation of the app. The non-technical side, we noticed we were having miscommunication and misunderstandings. Sometimes some of us were at our own pace, we had our own steps going on, and when we would work together, it became tricky to try and have this app work smoothly and have everything when we needed to. We decided to solve this, for example, using Trello, creating deadlines that met the goal and the requirements for completing the app. This finally led us to fulfilling everything that we're bringing you today.
Thank you all for your attention. We hope to see you by our booth after the presentations.
Thank you so much, Probless. Next up, I'd like to welcome CoquiNav to the stage. CoquiNav.
Good morning, everyone. Today we present to you CoquiNav. We chose the name CoquiNav because Coqui is the frog of our island, so it represents that, and it holds a special place in our hearts. And Nav is the way we capture the heart of the app, which is connecting communities. Here we meet the team. My name is Ariam Alvarez. I am the full stack software engineer, but I mostly work on the back end.
Hi, my name is Coral Rivera. I'm also a full stack engineer, but I also focus mostly on the front end.
Now for our story. So what inspired us was that we wanted to create a space where people could connect with their local communities and gatherings that are intimate and feel like such, so you can meet people that are around you. And this was inspired by us because we live very far. She lives in Rio Grande and I live in Vega Alta, and we want to attend to places like that, but they're all in San Juan. And we couldn't find anything that was closer to us, so we developed this and we grabbed the geolocation, and so you can see the events that are near you on the app.
So for the technologies we use for our backend, we use mainly Python and Flask. We also use Firebase for our user authentication and database. We use the GitHub for code versioning and to keep up with everything, every update of the app. We use the Google Maps API for geocoding, geolocation, and the map render. And we use JS, HTML, and CSS for our front end.
Some of the technical challenges that we experienced was the Firebase authentication, because the Firestore default is the email-based, and we needed the unique user IDs to connect everything together. And we also had some, issues working with the Google Maps APIs, because it was the first time for us to work with this technology. So it required deeper understanding on the front-end interactions and such. But the way we fixed this was just using reusable functions for the Firestore management. And we optimized the CoquiNav rendering with the Google Maps API integration.
For our non-technical challenge, a big one was coordinating our schedule, because we have work and family events to attend to. So the way we fixed this was creating daily stand-ups and continuous check-ins by text. We also dealt with a lot of challenges with task management. We also fixed this using a general outline of our app, and we kept up with it with the daily stand-ups. We just updated each other on our goals and hope to meet them. Also, another challenge for us was the design of our app, and we spent weeks going back and forth on our general feel and the logo and everything, the colors. So we ended up with what you see here, which captured what each other wanted to represent the app. So this is a screenshot of our homepage. You can see here the Google Maps API render with the geocoding and geolocations with the markers and the event cards where you have all the necessary information to attend these events. You can also see on the header that we have a keyword search and a location search, and we also have a create event button that is only seen by host users. So if you're a regular user, you are not going to be able to see this. So this is our app.
Thank you so much. These are the links for our LinkedIn, and we hope to see you at our booth for a live demo.
Thank you so much, CoquiNav. Next up, I'd like to welcome Motion Minds. Motion Minds.
Hello, good morning everyone. I want to introduce you to Motion Minds. Unlock your potential one motion at a time. So what is Motion Minds? Motion Minds is a wellness tracking and a productivity tool for people with disabilities. Now, I want to showcase our team, talk a little bit about our inspiration, continue with some of our technologies that we use in this project, then discuss some of our main challenges and conclude with our future work. So we have for our front-end developer, Sheila Gomez, who was in charge of the UI, layout, React components, and art in the website. Then we have Luis Soto, who was responsible for the VR and augmented reality, who was in charge of the rendering and modeling in the environment. Then we have myself, Jeremy Cardona. I was responsible for the API, CRUD operations, and database integration, as well as some of the fetch requests in the front end.
MotionMind was created from an understanding of how it feels to have disabilities and overcoming them. So in this app, we want to provide daily tools, we want to provide emotional tracking, we want to provide an experience that will help others be able to fulfill those limitations that some conditions may get them through.
So our technologies. First of all, for the front end, we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. For the backend, we have Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB, and finally for the AR and VR, we have A-Frame, 3JS, and WebXR. Some of these technologies you probably know and use yourself in your projects. Others, I doubt. The reason we went with these technologies was because, first of all, we wanted to challenge ourselves with a technology stack we hadn't used before, and it was also the most efficient technology stack for the project we had in mind. When it comes to challenges, on the non-technical side, we had deciding what we wanted to do and how to showcase our skills. We all have very different backgrounds and all wanted to implement something a little different to the project, so finding something that we could all pitch into and like was very difficult. Also time management, some of us are parents, some have jobs, and it was a little difficult at the beginning to, sync our schedules. Technical, finding compatible technologies, obviously, since we already had different ideas that we wanted to implement, finding technologies that work cohesively with one another was a big challenge. Learning said technology stacks, especially working in VR, AR, 3D space, was really difficult. The debugging as well, a new space, new problems. And finally, outdated and limited hardware. By this, we mean that the AR and VR was made using the Oculus Quest 2, which is not the most up-to-date headset. If we would have used like one of the newer Oculuses, like the Quest 3, we would have had much better body tracking and image scanning around. So it would have made for a better VR experience, but it's something we hope to implement in the future.
So in the future, we're aiming to update the app, and we would like to include professionals that would be able to give a support during a crisis. We also would like to implement motor skills and tracking and exercise. And we would also like to include a medication list of people for them not to forget when they took them, and for them to have the information of what are they taking, and to be able to continue helping others.
We thank you all for your time. If you have any questions or would like to demo our app, we'll be at our booth. Here are our links. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Motion Minds. Next up, I'd like to welcome RepairMate.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abimael Perez. I'm here to show you RepairMate. RepairMate is the best solution for troubleshooting problems or fixing machines. Here we have our team members. My name is Abimael. I do the front-end process of the project. We have our team leader, Xavier Cruz, and our full-stack developer. And we have John Lopez, our back-end developer, who's going to talk about our inspirations now.
In our experiences with machines, we found ourselves scratching our heads wondering, how can we find issues? How can we find a solution to the issues that we're having? In my experience as an electrician, I found myself being told, hey, John, check out this machine. I go there. It happens that 2 other electricians had done fixes to them. How would I know what's being done? Many times in many companies, in many technical fields, these things aren't being documented. I feel that we can find swifter solutions to these issues if we had a way to document all of these machines. In my factory, we have 16 shredders for recycling. So many times I go there, who worked on this machine? What was it that's done? We document this, and we can find a swifter solution for what we need, and that's how RepairMate came to be.
Technologies. In our project, we use a variety of technologies across the different layers of the application. For the front end, we use React.js, JavaScript, and CSS to build a responsive and interactive user interface. On the back end, we use Django with Python for fast development and PostgreSQL for our database. Finally, for the deployment of our application, we use AWS, Nginx, and Unicorn to keep our app secure. Challenges. One of the biggest technical challenge that we had was figuring out how to connect all the different part of the application. You see, each machine can have multiple issues. Each issue can have several possible solutions. Each possible solution might need a step-by-step guide. To solve this, we carefully design our database structure to handle all these connections smoothly.
As for non-technical issues, I don't know if you guys have noticed, you can take your car to somewhere and then maybe they're very knowledgeable about all these very specific things, cogs, screws, all these types of machineries, but they may not be the most technologically savvy people. It was very important to provide a very easy and a very intuitive user interface so that we may bridge that gap between the documentation of knowledge. As we document knowledge, it can be used for training, it could be used for a variety of. Specifically, we can use this to continue our knowledge and knowledge base. So many times I've had to talk to a team member and specifically tell them, hey, look, this is what's being done. He can then tell the other person. If none of us was documenting none of this, somebody leaves the factory, something happens, we're lost. We're stuck in the cables looking at what's going on, which is why I do believe RepairMate can have a very, have a use, and it can be applicable in many situations, in many companies, in many factories.
Here we have some screenshots of our app. Right here is the machines tab, where you can just view all the machines that you have on your account. Right here is the template feature, where you can keep adding machines, whether if you need them to just know more, just keep learning, or if they're actually part of your franchise. This is the details part. If you click on the machine that you want to know, you can find more details about the machine. You can read a PDF of the manual, and there's a lot of things to learn. Right here is the troubleshooting feature, where you click it, and it'll tell you what part of the machine could be failing, so you can figure out easier how to actually fix it. And right here's a detailed description of that issue. Thank you all so much for listening. You can scan our QR code for our LinkedIns and GitHubs. And if you want to know more about RepairMate or just test the app, you can come visit us at our booth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RepairMate. Great job. Next up, I'd like to invite ATC Alquila tu Cancha, a new way to help run your paddle tournaments.
Good morning, everybody. Today I'm here to show you Módulo de Torneos de Paddle, a new way to run your paddle tournaments. So who am I? I'm Cristian Lopez Rivera. I was the full stack and solo developer of this app. So what was the inspiration? Well, I was connected with an Argentinian company by Holberton. Their name is ATC. They're an Argentinian company that specializes in renting soccer fields and paddle courts. They also run their own tournaments, and they were running into a problem. They were running their paddle tournaments with pen and paper. It was really hard for them because after a big tournament, they ended up with a stack of papers, and now they didn't know who has the most points or who even was winning the tournament. So they came to Holberton, and Holberton came to me for me to develop them an app. So what did I create? I created NTP. NTP is a web app that takes participants, divides them into groups, runs a bracket, and then saves those results in the web app. And then you can see how many rounds have been run, who has the most points, and who are even the contestants. So how does it work? Here we can see that we have a place to put all the participants' information, a way to divide the groups, a way to see every group's points, a way to run the bracket, and a way to see every round. So what the technologies did I use? For the front-end side, I use HTML and CSS, and for the back-end side, I wanted to challenge myself. So I used this project to to hone my skills in Node.js and MongoDB. We already had a course here in Holberton, and I wanted to use it in my app. So what was the challenges? The technical side was in the honing my skill with MongoDB. I was not alone in this. I had the Holberton staff, the ATC staff also helped me, and our best friend ever, YouTube, helped me a lot. On the non-technical side was learning what paddleball was. I didn't know what was the port, how was it played, how even the tournaments were run. So I asked a paddle player, and he explained the game for me, and he explained how most tournaments work, and that was really helpful. Time management, I was alone in this project, like I said, and I had to coordinate with someone in another country. That was really hard with me and my job, but we made it. And learning to work remotely with a company. Like I said, ATC is an Argentinian company, it's a different time zone. So how did we fix this? We made bi-weekly meetings so I can show them my project, and a lot of email communication. It was really cool working with a company for the first time. It was really challenging, that part of coordinating, but I really enjoyed my experience with them. So here's my email, and that's the QR for my LinkedIn. I hope you go to my booth and demo my app.
Ben. Thank you so much. Next up, I'd like to welcome a thrilling space survival game called Rocket Rush. Rocket Rush, please come to the stage.
All right. Good morning, guys. And today, me and my team are going to be presenting our game called Rocket Rush. Here are team members that consist of myself, William Peyot, Steven Rosario, and Mitzael Peter. As you can see, there are no objectives to see that we were all really full stack as we all worked around each other. We all depended on what we really needed to each other, and we kind of just worked together as a team so everybody could work on everything. And what is Rocket Rush? So Rocket Rush is a fast-paced 2D space survival game in which the point is to collect points as you survive and dodge different enemies like aliens, meteors, and different planets. In this game, it's a very fast-paced mode as it depends on you dodging and weaving, as there's also a different multiplayer mode where you can play against your friends, see who can survive the longest, collect different power-ups along the way, such as hearts and shields that will help you regain your health depending on what damage you've took, and a shield that will also keep you invulnerable for a specific number of points.
As for our inspirations, before the project began, we already knew that we wanted to make a game. But since in this day and age, there are many types of game genres and gameplays, we decided to look for something simpler and something easier to make. From this, we decided on arcade games. Well, the arcade game that we took inspiration from was originally Frogger, which we wanted to transform into something more multiplayer and something more competitive. Unfortunately, during our development, we had a few troubles with that. So essentially, we repurposed a lot of the code and a lot of the assets into something that we now call a space survival game called Rocket Rush. As for our technologies, we used HTML and CSS for our landing page. We use Godot for our general coding, for the testing, and the general everything of the game. We use VS Code for all of the pushing, the merging, and we use GitHub to contain the entire code of the project.
So in the challenge we faced, the first was on the non-technical part, because we don't know how to use Godot. We never used Godot before, so we have to do some research first on the internet, watch tutorials, took some extra course. And once we start to learn the basic, we can make progress on the game. On the technical part, the most difficult part was implementing the boost item or power-ups. The power-ups doesn't work like we want to. So sometimes doesn't activate, sometimes never deactivate, so you never lose the game. But we have to restructure all the nodes and timer nodes to make it work.
Thank you guys for your attention, and we will have a demo of Rocket Rush up at our booth. Here are links for our LinkedIn, and thank you guys so much for your attention.
Great job, Rocket Rush. Can't wait to play the game later. Next up, I'd like to welcome Level Up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to introduce you Level Up. Level Up is an innovative app designed to transform the way you build and maintain your daily habits. But here's the thing. Level Up is not only a tracker habit app. This is a gamified app where you can gain points and you can gain experience as much as you complete your daily tasks. You have a different preset list with tasks. Also, you can customize every single task to manage your daily week or weekly habits. The team is composed by Saul Vera. He is the backend developer. Oscar Rapales, he is front-end developer, and I am Julio Perez. I worked with the backend developer and the CRUD operations. Now I'm going to leave you with Saul Vera. He's going to talk about the technologies.
We wanted to create an app that combines the gaming elements, game styles such as XP, experience points, stats, like an RPG game, with tracking apps, so where the user can keep track of their daily task, also having control and manage their habits. To create our app, we use Flask, SQL Alchemy for the backend, and Sockets.io for the real-time update, and SQLite for development. From the front end, we use React and Bootstrap, Chakra, and we switch for PostgreSQL because it handles more higher volumes of data. We also use containerize our Docker with Docker and Docker Compose to make our app more standard and help us run the app consistently in different systems. And we deploy our application, we run with Render. In short, our tech stack was chosen carefully to meet our project goals and demands.
So, challenges that we had. One of the major challenges was developing the level up and deadline system. With very few resources for gamification, we had to create this system from scratch. So we experimented with the method and attributes of our Flask models. This allowed us to create a rewarding level up system and an effective deadline feature. The other challenge was setting up the app for production. We had to set up Postgre as the database for production and configure the servers for the front end and back end. Also the Docker services. With extensive research and trial and error, we managed to tackle these issues. The other challenge was learning React for the development, for the front end development. Before this project, we didn't really have much experience with React, but using effective time management strategies, we managed to learn enough React while still making progress in the backend of our app. So, are you ready to level up? Let's build better habits together. You can scan our QR code where you will be able to see our app and even connect with us. So we hope to see you later on during the day at our booth to demo our app and ask us any question. So thank you for listening and have a good day.
Thank you, Level Up. I can't wait to be a hero of my day. Next up, I'd like to welcome Sync.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Soto. My partner is Jose Amayo, and together we are Sync. Jose focused on the back end. I focus on the front end, but at the end we work as a full stack. While searching for ideas, we were suggested to work with an AI-driven project for busy executive. They often struggle with limited time and ideas to manage their marketing plans. Our goal is to simplify the campaign management, ideas, and recommendation to ease the marketing effort. So once you log in on the web page, you're gonna have the home page. You're gonna have the toggles with different functions, each one.
Here you can see the AI toggle and the different options that the app has right now. Here you have to activate the AI toggle with one of the options and click generate. So the OpenAI is gonna generate the campaign for you. This app leverages on OpenAI advanced natural processing model, natural language processing model. Through the prompt feature, users can get personalized campaigns recommendations, get analytics, and also through prompt, it can have a specific content generated by you, for you. Here's an example of a result of the campaign. This is a 7-day campaign.
As Jose mentioned, we work with OpenAI. Besides that, we use Flash for the app because of the flexibility and ease to use. We use SQL Alchemy and SQLite for the databases. We use .env for the secret keys. For the web page design front end, we HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And at the end, we deploy the app using render.
Challenges making the API work at first. It was a little bit tough to get the AI working. Also the database to work with the app, we had a little bit trouble. First it was working, then it got erased. So we had to start all over again. Building the toggle feature to work with the AI. At first we just had the checkboxes, and then we had to change it with the CSS. Carlos helped with that and make it to work as a toggle. Collaboration with the team members. Communication was a little bit challenging. Carlos and I work different time shifts and using Trello app to keep in track what we were doing during the day. And then he continued with the work while I was working, so back and forth.
So what are you waiting for? Come to our booth and spark your next connection. Thank you.
Thank you to Sync. Great job. Next up, I'd like to welcome a team called Quickr. Quickr, come to the stage, please.
Hello, my name is Alexandra Guadalupe, and I welcome you to Quickr app. Every professional service that you need in one place. Quickr app is a platform similar like Booksy or Servicios en Minuto from Clasificados Online on Puerto Rico. Our team group is composed by Brian Garcia on full stack, Glorisabel Rivera on backend developer, and me, Alexandra Guadalupe, on front end.
The creation of Quickr was driven by a need we identified in the job market that facilitate instant connection between employers and employees. We are inspired to design a platform that would offer effective and agile solution to meet these demands. What does our web app do? We facilitate between the service provider and the client and help them find a service. The features of the application. The user can create an account, create a service, create an appointment, and leave a review for the service.
The technologies that we use on front end was HTML with Jinja, on CSS for the aesthetic on the app or platform, and JavaScript for the interaction in Jinja.
And for the backend, it was fully made with Python, and we used the Flash framework to build the application, and the database was made with SQLite, and we deployed it on render. Some challenges we faced was code functionality. At the beginning, I was trying to link the appointment and service tables, and come to find that I had a typo in the foreign key and in the relationship. Merging problems. One time I was gonna push the code and I forgot to pull it first, and I received some merging conflicts, so I had to backtrack and fix them so I can push the new code. The scheduling problems due to our difficult and fast-changing work shift, sometimes the communication was not there, and we kind of fell short on some of our deadlines, so we had to take an extra few days to catch up on that work, and learning tools like Jinja.
Jinja was my part. Jinja, it's a commonly template-based and work with Python like Flask or Django. And Jinja lets you mix the HTML code with Python structures and compounds to make an interaction between the front end and back end. And Jinja was a really challenge to me because we didn't know how it would work. And anyways, I want to try something for create interactions and combination with the backend and the front end interactions.
Thank you for your attention. Now you can scan QR code and see your application.
Thank you so much, Quickr. We have 3 more teams to go, and then we'll transition to the meet and greet and demo portion of the morning. So thank you so much. Next up, we'd like to welcome My Pet Shop to the stage.
So, hello everyone, good morning. Today, me and Chris are going to be presenting our online pet shop, and I'm Aníbal Fuentes Rodriguez. I was the backend developer for this project, and I was responsible for choosing what language we're going to use, what database, and where to host it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Babylonia, and I worked as front-end developer within our web application, focusing on the implementation of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
As for the inspirations, was our big love for pets and our big love for coding. We wanted to make a beautiful and functional web application and making something visually appealing and user-friendly.
Another major inspiration for us is the joy we bring to pet owners with our app. We're also inspired by family business roots, since many pet shops are family-owned, and with these ties to the communities, we wanted to support and celebrate that connection. Finally, we wanted to create a unique online pet shop experience that every pet lover can enjoy.
So, as the technologies that I use for the backend, I choose Python to be the backbone for my project because it's pretty simple to use and it brings us a strong support on web development. Django was the framework that I used for this project. Jinja helped us create dynamic and interactive templates. Stripe API was the one responsible for making all the processes payment. PostgreSQL, I choose it because it's dependable and efficient way of data storage. Amazon S3 bucket was chosen to keep those images of the products safe there on the cloud.
Now let's talk about the front-end technologies that we use to bring our vision to life. First, we have CSS. CSS was essential for styling our project, making sure that everything looks visually appealing and that the layout is consistent. Next, we have HTML, which formed the backbone of our project, providing the necessary structure for our web pages, making sure that everything from text to images looks arranged in a clear and logical way. Finally, we use JavaScript. JavaScript enabled us to add dynamic elements to our application, making that users have Together, these technologies helped us build a front end that's functional and user-friendly.
So we have two major challenges for this project. One was the Google OAuth authorization that we have implemented to handle the login and registration part of my project. But when we decided to deploy it, it gave us a lot of redirection problems. So we have decided to remove it and then use the Django built-in functions to handle that authorization.
Another major challenge we faced during deployment was loading images directly from our database. To fix this, we use Amazon S3 buckets for image storage. This change helped improve the smoothness in the app and reliability.
Thank you so much for your attention. Feel free to scan the code here, and we will be waiting at our bootcamp to demo the app.
Thank you.
Thank you to My Pet Shop. Next up, we have a workforce management solution app who's here to present to us called Connect. Please welcome Connect.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian. I'm the project manager and full stack developer of Connect, and today I'm here with Abdiel, who is our designer and front-end developer of us. And we have Jose Mendez, who is not here today. He's our testing developer. The idea of Connect came from a personal problem that I experienced. As an employee, it was hard to stay informed about shift when schedule is unorganized. Many companies use spreadsheet or even group chat for schedule, which can get messy.
So Connect solves this problem by making schedules easy and understandable to use. So Connect helps managers to create and update shifts and schedules of their employees. So yeah. That's it. So building Connect in the front end, we have HTML, CSS, Tailwind CSS, while in the backend was powered by Python Flask, Flask SQL Alchemy, SQL Alchemy. So in the database securement and security, we use Alembic to secure the updates of the database, and Flask logging with Flask GWT to secure better logging. And in the deployment area, we use GUnicorn and a render of it so it can be scalable.
So how does Connect works? Well, you go to your browser and search for connectus.website, where you can find our landing page. In there, you're going to see information about us. You're going to see features and FAQs. Once you're all set, you can start now. When you start, you're going to create your account in just a few seconds. And with your credentials, you can enter to your admin dashboard, where you can create your employees, create them schedules, edit them, and delete them. If you're an employee, you can log in with your credentials that your manager create you, and there you can see your schedules in a simple way.
So creating Connect was a little bit hard, but with a little bit of companionism and talking and communicative team members, we went from planning to deployment, which was a very hard thing to do because of our time shifts and all that. So we went in 2 months and a half, we went to planning, to building, to testing, to deployment.
We faced some challenges like security, the database, and making the app look great on both desktop and mobile. That's why we use real user feedback, ensuring managers stay organized and employees have a professional, easy-to-use experience. If you want to connect with us, you can scan our QR code where you can find our website, our portfolios, and LinkedIn's. And if you want to connect with us personally, you can go to our booth on the back where you can talk with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Connect. For the last team, we have a useful tool that was created to help you play Star Wars Companion. Please welcome Star Wars Unlimited Companion. Thank you.
Hello there, and welcome. We're excited to present our portfolio project called Star Wars Unlimited Companion, a web application for players and collectors alike for the Star Wars Unlimited trading card game. The team responsible for the web application is Carlos Colon, one of our front-end developers in charge of the website's interactivity and functionality. Juan Mendez, our back-end developer in charge of the data handling, and myself, Yesel Gonzalez, responsible for the UI and overall website design. What is Star Wars Unlimited? It's a brand new trading card game for, where players get to engage in interactive gameplay featuring iconic characters from the Star Wars universe. Our inspiration came very early on during our software development course. As avid TCG players and longtime Star Wars fans, we immediately knew we wanted to make our project based off the trading card game. And as players, we quickly found out there was a need for a web application filled with tools for a more interactive and immersive gameplay.
All right, so let's talk about some features. Given the needs we found as players, we wanted to create an app that included features that would enhance the experience of other players and collectors alike, starting with a news portal to help players stay updated with the latest game information, a complete card library that contains all available cards in the game, a collection tracker to allow collectors to keep track of their current inventory in the palm of their hands, a damage counter to help replace physical counters and dice to allow players a smoother experience while playing in real life, and finally, a deck builder to allow players to create and save their own customized decks. So this is the complete card library. It contains all cards in the game, along with a search bar on the top and some filter functions. It allows players to find any card they might need on the fly. You can click on any card, and it's going to pull up a detailed page with all of the card's information. And it allows you to add the card to your personal inventory, which you can then check out in the View Collection button on the top left corner. And then the damage counter. This is one of the main features we wanted to add to our app, since we couldn't find anything similar that was tailored towards Star Wars Unlimited. This is a before and after graphic. On the left side, we see some players using physical counters and dice. These can get kind of messy, as throughout the game, players constantly need to update the amount of damage they have on their base, whether it's putting damage on or taking damage off. We found this to be a little bit tedious and take time away from the action. So we decided to move away from that. And on the right side, we can see some players using a mobile device that allows you to pull up any base in the entire game, and with the user-friendly interface, allows you to quickly add or remove damage on the fly, keeping players engaged in the action.
The technologies used in the development of this app include HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for front-end UI and functionality. They connect directly to our Python Fast API app routes and endpoints that handle all the Postgres data. And we deployed this on Vercel. Some challenges that we found while we were creating this app was balancing the feature requests that we were having from our friends and fellow players of the game. We had to balance that with our focus of what we wanted to create with the game since we had a short amount of time. On the technical side, we also found it tedious and very difficult to add every single card manually. So we decided that with the help of our previous software engineering mentor, Jonathan Rivera, he helped us create a web scraper to collect all the information from each one of the cards that already existed. And we also keep that around so that when new sets come up, we can also use the web scraper to keep adding sets and stay on top of all the new cards that are appearing. So thank you very much for listening. We will be at our booth where we will be showing you how the app works with live games. May the force be with you.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. That concludes the presentation portion of the morning. And great job, Star Wars Unlimited companion. Sorry for getting your name wrong earlier. Again, thank you to all of our partners who are here watching in person and on Google Meet and YouTube. You might have noticed that some of the projects were inspired by other startups, right? Like ATC is one of our partners through Parallel 18. I just wanted to give them a shout out because one of our students did a presentation with them. Thank you, Christian. The other one was Sync, inspired by Toggle Communications, also a startup at Parallel 18. So thank you so much for Parallel 18 for your partnership. If anybody would like to be a mentor for future projects here at Holberton, we'd love to talk to you. So please reach out to us, and we can partner you with some of our students for the next demo day. We have demo days 3 times a year, following a 9-month foundation certificate program that our students go through, right? Many of our students learn how to code from scratch throughout this program. So this particular group, Cohort 23, started in February. And I just want to congratulate you all on such amazing work. Your projects were very impressive. I'm very proud of you. I know it's been a long journey, so thank you so much for hanging in there, and congrats on this new chapter. Next, I'd like to quickly introduce Mercedes Diaz, our campus director here at Holberton Coding School. And following Mercy, we'll open it up for the demos and meet and greet session. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Again, thank you for being here, for all of you who are here today. Some new faces, some old faces. I mean, not old, but we've known each other before. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everybody who's watching. And I'd like to thank most of all today my team, the staff. This is a production project that takes a while to coordinate and put together, and I think that Ellen and Sean and Jandres and Frances and Ingrid, I would like to ask all of you to please recognize the hard work that's gone into this. I'm very proud of them, and I thank them. And I also thank Adam, who's here sitting with us. He's our chief mentor. I know Ellen introduced him to you before, but I'd like you to understand the role that he plays. He is available almost 24/7 to the students, not only for coaching and asking questions about their particular project, but also about career, negotiations, investment, you name it. You will not meet any other investor who's as involved as Adam is. And thank you so much, Adam, for all your support. And last but not least, you guys back there, the students, you guys are awesome. I'm so proud of you. We see all the sacrifices. Sometimes you don't think we see it, but we know that you're working. We know that you have to take care of the kids and the home and everything and all. And we know that you are hardworking and dedicated, and all that I can say is that we wish you the best on your next stage, whether it's your specialization or whether it's your next professional challenge and your first job in programming. So thank you again, and please enjoy all the demos. There's a lot of fun projects and interesting projects, and we hope to see you again in the next demo day. Thank you. For the people who are streaming, we have to say goodbye now, and thank you so much for the time.